Welcome on in to Sports Memo Today, the Thursday edition, and we have two great guests coming on, two of my favorites here. I'm your host, Dan Alexander, and we're happy to be with you on Throwback Thursday. That means you can get all plays, all packages loaded today, 50% off. Heck of a deal. You see beside me, we got Eric, Pauly, and Nick Parsons from the Insiders Room coming in here today, and we're going to be talking a little MLB, a little NHL, a little NBA, all actionable info for you here on Thursday to help, let's say, supplement your Masters bets, maybe alleviate some of your Masters bets if you had any outrights that have already slipped up here on Masters Thursday. Hey, it's a long weekend, folks. Don't lose your mind just yet. But hey, I say we get right into it. Let's bring in my man from over with the Gold Sheet, Eric Pauly, joining us here. And when he talks baseball, you better listen. And he's got a two-pack for you today. The first, we're going to be taking a look at a total EP. So I'm going to swing it your way. Some two teams out west. It's Arizona, it's the Dodgers, and that 9 seems a little high. Are you saying it's not high enough? What do you think?
I think that 9 actually is not high enough. So Merrill Kelly and Dustin May already faced off against each other literally less than a week ago in this early season because the Dodgers opened up against the Diamondbacks, played Colorado, and now we're hosting Arizona for this series. And I like this game to go over the total of 9 runs. And a lot of this has to do with the fact that now these offenses and these two lineups are familiar with the starting pitcher going for each other's team. So Merrill Kelly in this first matchup, it ended up being a 2-1 win for the Diamondbacks, but he threw only 3.2 innings, allowed 4 hits, 4 walks, a couple strikeouts, and was actually very lucky to be able to get out of that inning. While on the other hand, Dustin May for the Dodgers pitched a fantastic game in he was hurt for a lot last year, only pitched 6 games, and it's great to see this nice young player looking good coming back from injury. But I expect a total flip of the script for this matchup. I expect there to be runs because of how familiar these two teams are with each other's starting pitchers. Merrill Kelly historically is not great against the Dodgers, even though most of the damage comes in Dodger Stadium, and they are in Arizona tonight. But all things considered, 9 runs seems a little bit low. I expect some fireworks from these two teams again. And going over that 9 for tonight's matchup.
Going over the 9. Eric Pauly saying, hey, not high enough. You can keep setting it higher and higher. He's rocking with that, and it's only minus 110. So if people are agreeing with him and the marketplace looks like it is, might want to get on that 110 as soon as possible. You also came on here last week with a little home run prop. I love these because there's some plus money, gives you something fun to root for every time you get your guy coming up to bat. So who are we sprinkling a little bit of something on to hit a homer tonight, EP?
We're sprinkling on Luis Robert Jr. Now, this game actually kicks off very soon. So if you're watching this live, try to get that in ASAP. And if not, this will be a nice bragging point if he is able to go yard today. But the White Sox hosting the Giants, Alex Webb on the mound for the Giants, a left-handed pitcher. Luis Robert in his career, a 203 WRC plus against left-handed pitching. And if you're not familiar with the WRC plus advanced statistic, 203 is well above and beyond some of the best hitters in all of baseball over the course of a season. This is his career at home against left-handed pitching, a 203 WRC plus. So I think it was around plus 450 when I was able to get in on this. Not always the best odds with home run bettors. The sports books know a lot of recreational money likes to come in on these things, and more often than not, there is value on the no home run. However, again, knowing how well Robert's season hits left-handed pitching, especially at home, he's off to a great start this season. I like him for a little bit of pizza money on this White Sox Giants game coming up at 2:10.
Yeah, and even if you are joining us live after this one's gone off, a lot of these live betting options, they do still offer those home run props. Might not be the exact same number that you're looking at with this nice 4.5 to 1 before the game, but you still can get down if you want to join us with a little Robert Jr. HR. Eric, what is going on over at the Gold Sheet? What's going on over at your page? Because I know you are up to your eyes getting statistics ready each and every day for the folks over at Gold Sheet.
So the Gold Sheet, we are kind of a soft launch today of our stat sheet that's going to be available on the goldsheet.com. And what that is going to consist of is every single day, myself and the rest of the team at the Gold Sheet, shout out to James, we're going to break down each and every matchup in the MLB for that day, compile a bunch of important and actionable statistics about how the starting pitchers do on home, on the road against this certain lineup, how some of these hitters do against the lineup, some trends about, not necessarily trends, but some information about how these bullpens have been doing recently. Are they tired? Are they fresh? What kind of angles can we find? And we're going to be releasing a free pick as well as a free prop as well. So that entire package is going to, for now, be free, where you can go to the gold sheet right now and look at what we're cooking up with the stat sheet. Plan is for having that to go paid probably at the beginning of next week, but you're going to get all access for one singular week, every single game broken down with actionable stats and information, as well as our two favorite plays, one traditional run line, money line total type play, and one player prop that we love every single day of the season.
That's Eric Pauly. Make sure you check it out, thegoldsheet.com. They are doing a terrific job with one of the longest standing publications, bringing it into the modern age. Him and James are bodying that project. So go check them out. Plenty of free content on there as well, thegoldsheet.com. And also, I tell you to head on over to the deals page at sportsmemo.com because it is Throwback Thursday. You can get any package, any play that's loaded 50% off. And I know my man Nick Parsons in the Insiders Room is always excited when that rolls around. Let them know what you have up here for tonight's action, then we'll get them some free plays as well. Nick, how's it been?
Absolutely not bad at all, Dan. Thanks for having me on again. For sure. I mean, for me, the focus is NBA right now. We've been playing with house money since the very start, myself and my clients. And that's a carryover from a great season last year. Definitely pumped for the play-in tournament, the playoffs. I think you have to be a little bit conservative here in the final days and everything, but I do have a big 5% play up at SportsMemo right now. So as Dan said, it's the rollback Thursday. It's the throwback Thursday, 50% off. So go check that out.
sm.buzz/TIR, quickest way to get over there, and you don't want to miss out on that. So, hey, something that you definitely didn't want to miss out on was hopping in on the Thunder, because early on when this line opened, we were looking at about a 5 as they host the Jazz. This thing just continues to tick up. So higher and higher it goes as we're recording here around 2 o'clock Eastern time. We're looking at a 7.5. Is that too rich for you, Nick, or you think there might still be a little bit of value left here on the Thunder?
I still think there's a bit of value left here as long as it stays under double digits for sure. I'm expecting them to not only win this game, Dan, but to do so by a sizable margin. I mean, now, granted, both of these teams, they're still in the mix for the playoff tournament, but I think this contest does favor the desperate visiting side. It's going to have a playoff-like atmosphere in this one. Each team does enter this one on a 3-game losing streak, but despite sort of soiling the sheets over the last week here, the Thunder, they have a golden opportunity here. They can make the playoffs. All they have to do is win their next 2 games. They got to win this game tonight, and then they have another one on Sunday at Memphis. Just depending on Memphis's where it's at there, that could be just another game where it's massively favored, and so it can just roll over there. So, but I mean, one game at a time here. The Jazz, they have been getting the job done for bettors of late. They've covered in 4 straight, but they've lost 7 of their last 8 straight up. Utah, not only does it have to catch Oklahoma City, but it also has Dallas right in front of it, and the Mavericks own the tiebreaker in that one. And so the Thunder, they come into this game, they're off a 136-125 loss at Golden State. They've been competitive in defeat here. For the Jazz, they're off a really disheartening 135-133 overtime loss to the Lakers. For me, I just think that's going to be a huge mental letdown for this team. They battled back from 10 points down with 2 minutes left to force the overtime, and then they lost. Oklahoma City has done well in this matchup this year. It's 1-2, lost 1 in the series. And so despite 64% of the money or more early money here on the Jazz, I'm going to go the other way. As I say, more money's on the Jazz, but this line keeps ticking up for Oklahoma City. I wouldn't go above 10 or anything, but yeah, I think the Thunder can finally get the job done here, Dan.
Looking towards the Thunder as they take on the Jazz. As you mentioned, a 5% play up in NBA action right this moment. Go over and grab that sm.buzz/TIR. All right, it's not just the hardwood, though, that you've been crushing it on, Nick Parsons. We also love taking a look towards the ice. And tonight, the Islanders Another market mover here is early this morning when this lined open, we were looking at about a minus 115 favorite for the New York Islanders on the home ice as they're hosting the Lightning. That's ticked up. We're seeing 150s, 155. So I don't know. Is there still value there? Or do we start looking towards maybe a puck line play, or do we just lay the juice, eat a little bit of chalk, and you only pay the chalk and play the juice when the play loses? How are we going to be betting this one?
Yeah, I think the Islanders are worth the price of admission up to about minus 150. And then after that, yeah, have to be looking at the puck line for sure. But I mean, this is a big game for New York. I would argue it's the biggest game of the season for the Islanders tonight. They currently sit in 9th spot in the conference standings. That's 2 games behind Florida. Now, they do come into this game well rested and focused, and they're out to avenge a 5-0 setback in Tampa on April 1st. Now, Tampa, it's in 6th spot with 4 games remaining. They have 94 total points. The Rangers are in 5th with 101, tied with Toronto. Pittsburgh is in 7th with 86. So, of course, I mean, the Lightning won't want to go into the playoffs on a losing streak, but they're already locked into their first-round matchup with Toronto. For the Islanders, it's do or die. Basically, they are clinging on to the second wild card spot. New York plays with this immediate revenge factor after losing 5-0 on Saturday. And so they're also out to avoid a 3-game losing streak because the following day they lost 2-1 at Carolina. So, yeah, beyond the revenge factor, another angle that the Islanders enjoy here is that the Lightning come in fatigued. They just played last night, 6-2. They lost to the Rangers. So, yeah, I think they can rebound in this shutout after that shutout loss in Tampa. New York is actually 7-3 in its last 10 in trying to avenge a shutout loss against an opponent. So, in fact, Dan, to say this is a revenge game would be an understatement. The Lightning have won 6 straight regular season matchups in this game. And so I just think the Lightning, they have less to play for here. They're going to throw in the white towel early, and I look for the Islanders. I think they're going to be risking life and limb getting into shooting and passing lanes here. So that's my call on this one.
Islanders worth the look. And again, that's climbing. So you want to grab that sooner rather than later. That's Nick Parsons. Grab that 5% play and chop 50% off of it. sm.buzz/TIR. That's all plays, all packages, all picks that are loaded. You can slash 50% off. We're going to be running that through about mid-April here. So something that you definitely want to take advantage of is our Throwback Thursday, not only here at Sports Memo, but also over at wagertalk.com. And as Eric Pauly said, make sure you go and check out the Gold Sheet too. Don't forget about our friends over there. That's going to do it for us. A nice little sprint here, getting you a little MLB action, a little NHL, and a little NBA as well. If you enjoy the show, all we ask you to do, hop below in the comments. Let us know what you're going to be betting on, and also make sure you hit that little bell so you never miss any of the great shows here at Wager Talk TV or Sports Memo TV. Big thanks to Eric Pauly. Big thanks to Nick Parsons and all of the Insiders Room, and my producer, Eric, doing a terrific job behind the scenes. I'm your host, Dan Alexander, and there it is. Actionable information in 30 minutes or less. It's what you get every Tuesday and Thursday right here on Sports Memo Today.